Hi, today on our Break Free and Thrive series, I'm interviewing a woman that I actually connected with probably about a year ago and just ran into her a couple of weeks ago. And she's been in my mind as soon as I met her. And the reason for that is because she transforms people and she transforms them in a way that you don't imagine yourself being transformed in. And that's why I have Eugenia Battaglia on our interview today. And I want to welcome you, Eugenia.
Hi, thank you for having me. What a treat.
You're welcome. And Eugenia is the wardrobe stylist that kind of helps women. And I understand you actually help men and women, but you help women really transform to show their best side. And I think that's something that everyone wants to say, well, no, she can't do that for me. And actually, you really have a magic touch. And I really would like you to share a little bit about your magic touch in your business.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm a wardrobe stylist and I do work with both men and women. And yeah, it's just kind of, there's those shows on TV. They almost look like they wave a magic wand. They show the before and then the after. It's like almost like they wave a magic wand on people and ta-da! They are all of a sudden the best version of themselves. It's not quite like that, but it is like that. It's a great experience, and why not transform into the best version of yourself so that you can be just that every single day.
Well, and I think one of the things that you really focus on is someone's features, whether it's their face, their shape, etc., what they do for a living, and then you also take into consideration, how they want to project themselves or what colors look best on them. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. The first thing that when people approach me to work with them, the first thing we do is we have a chat. I want to find out about who you are. What do you do for a living? What is your personal life like? Meaning, do you travel? Do you have a lot of downtime? What do you do? Because outwardly really needs to match who you are, especially internally, right? Who you are on the inside needs to be demonstrated outwardly. But it also needs to represent who you are, your business. You are your brand. So whatever you do should translate into that visually. So we have a chat, we talk about it, and I find out about what they do. And then, with their budget in mind, then we go shopping. Before we go shopping, we can go through your closet and get rid of what doesn't suit you, what doesn't fit your brand, what you don't love, and what doesn't fit you. Because let's face it, 80% of what's sitting in your closet or hanging in your closet, you don't wear. And we all do this. Mm-hmm. We just have stuff, old baggage almost, just sitting there and hanging there year after year, a lot of times, that we don't touch, and sometimes hoping we can fit back into those clothing. Those women do this a lot. Sometimes on their top shelf, they have their high school jeans. Sometimes like, well, someday, or that was what I used to fit in. And it's just like, that was a million years ago. Who cares, right? What matters is today, right now. Who you are, what you're doing. I mean, you're a different person today than you were 20 years ago, than you were even a month ago. We evolve. So why shouldn't our image evolve with us? But unfortunately, I think we get so stuck. Is that the right word to use? We get so stuck and used to doing our hair the same way, wearing our makeup the same way, and wearing the same type of makeup. The same, and obviously it goes the same for our clothing. We kind of stay in that box and bubble, and we're afraid to get out of it. And I think mostly it's just because we don't know what we don't know.
Okay.
And sometimes we are aware of that, or others tells us, hey, you got to do something different because it's hindering you versus helping your business. But yeah, you got to get out of that box. And but anyway, I'm I'm going over where you didn't ask me. So you asked, we can start in your closet. We get rid of it doesn't fit you, it doesn't suit you. And then with a budget in mind and with a goal in mind, then we go shopping. Okay. And we go buy those pieces that work for you, that you need.
Okay. So it's building on kind of a foundation, and so that you can add pieces to it, to your wardrobe, so that you can mix and match rather than saying, here's 3 outfits. These are the 3 I'm going to focus on whenever I'm okay.
I like to focus with the basics. So every woman and man should have certain basics in their closet, right? Okay. And I talk about those basics sometimes in my Instagram, in my Facebook, on some videos. So we should there's those core basics that you should always have. Mm-hmm. And then from those core bases, then we build upon. That's correct. So it depends what kind of style you have, and that you want to build upon those. But yeah, without those basics, it's tough to have a style or a brand.
Okay. And when you're looking at someone that wants to change their image, for instance, I've lost 25 pounds and now I really would like to accentuate, the weight that I've lost. Do we also get rid of all those clothes that don't fit? Because there may not be much in the closet.
Yes, good question, Karen. And the answer to that is first of all, there is not one, especially woman, there is not one woman that doesn't come to me that wants to work with me and she says, not all the time, but often they say, you know what, I've got X amount of weight I want to lose. And I'm like, oh, really? What if you don't lose that weight? Because it has happened. Some women wait 6 months, wait 8 months, and they go with, they miss opportunities. I mean, they have told me, I have missed this opportunity, that opportunity, because I was waiting to be perfect until I invested in myself, and I regret it. If you do lose that weight, and if you can keep it off, it all depends. Everybody's very different, and every situation is different. If you can keep it off, yes, well, 25 pounds, that's going to change, I don't know, at least one size down, or maybe 2. Okay. So yes, get rid of those things. You're not going to touch them. But if you think your weight fluctuates, then hold on to them, especially if they're core pieces.
Okay. Because I know some women say, well, in the wintertime I gain weight and I wear this size, and in the summer I kind of lose this and this is the other size. And I'm like, I'd have a tough time what season.
Different. Yes, that's a little bit different. 25 pounds to 5 or 10 pounds, that's different. There's a difference there. If it's 5 to 10 pounds, yes, hold on to your clothes. You are going to go back to them. If it's 25, there is going to be a definite appearance on the clothing, and that's not good, because fit is everything. Clothing needs to fit you just so, not tight, but fitted, so that you don't look frumpy. Mm-hmm. And often people, especially men, wear clothes too big, and then it just does not represent well who they are.
Do they want to feel comfortable in those bigger clothes?
Yes. They think, people in general think, and this is actually the number one aspect that people talk to me about is, I want to be comfortable. It's like the first thing they say, I want to be comfortable. It's like, well, you will be very comfortable. But I think sometimes people think because you wear things more fitted that you are automatically not going to be comfortable. And that is not true at all. These days, fortunately, clothing and manufacturers have found amazing materials and styles and ways of working their magic to make clothing be so comfortable. So even when styles are more fitted, you're still very comfortable, I promise. And if you're not, then you're wearing the wrong clothing. It's too cheap in materials and in make, and you shouldn't be wearing those anyway.
Okay. So I've noticed that some women that we have in the group are professional, either nurses or physical therapists or in the medical profession, and they're accustomed to wearing uniforms. And they find that when they're not at work, they kind of stick with sweats and other kind of uniform and similar type, I'll say boxy fitting, and they really don't understand that they really have an opportunity to make a statement about themselves when they're not at work. Can you share a little bit about that?
I love that you said a statement about themselves. I love it. That is so key. Yes. Well, let's go back to their uniform. Even if you wear a uniform, there is still a way to tell people that you have taste and have a style through the jewelry you wear, your makeup, your hair. Don't just toss your hair up in a bun and throw some spray shampoo or dry shampoo, whatever it's called. I hate that stuff. Just wash your hair. And go out the door just because you wear scrubs. It is your job. You know, people are still seeing you. It is your brand. And the shoes that you wear, even with your scrubs, whether it's a tennis shoe or a sneaker, whatever that may be. A Born shoe. These days, there's a lot of comfortable shoes with style. So you can still look better than the norm and stand out even though you're wearing scrubs. That's number one. Number two, yes, when you take off those scrubs, have fun, right? And most people have the hardest time dressing themselves in casually. You know, it's easier for people to put on a dress and a suit and a tie or a button-down shirt and a blazer, even though there's a lot more that goes into it than just throwing it on. But yes, casually, people tend to have a harder time putting it together. But if you stick to the basics, and if you start with the basics and kind of look at things and try items on that you normally wouldn't, but maybe you see it on a magazine or you see it on Pinterest, and just kind of see what you gravitate to and go try it on. I mean, I can't tell you exactly what to put on right here because it's such a specific and personal thing. Yeah, have fun.
Okay. And one of the other things that I've noticed is I actually came from the Northeast, and I'll say the uniform of the day was we tended to wear dark clothes. You know, you're in New York, it's the winter time, and you're wearing, whether it's, you know, black pants and, you know, a shirt and a blazer, whatever, but it was kind of like the standard, you had a black overcoat, whatever. And as I've moved west, I've kind of said, you know, I'm kind of tired of wearing all of that black. And I know you're wearing black today, and I've seen you in exquisite red, you know, and other vibrant colors, you know, blue. And I'm just like, you know, you don't have to wear black all the time. And you're a prime example of that because you do incorporate other colors. And I think that's one of the things that people kind of need to understand. What do those colors represent?
You know, color, first of all, it's not as easy to find as you may think.
Okay.
Just because if you find color, make sure that it's done tastefully and classy, because when colors come out at the beginning of every year, they come out with the Pantone color of whatever the trendy color is. And sometimes it can get out of hand. So it's like, okay, how am I going to wear that see-through purse every day? I mean, really, that's not very practical at all. But so for example, this year, right now, a big trend, which has color, I think, and a lot of contrast, is animal print.
Okay.
So it's not so much of a color, but animal print is everywhere. So even if you are used to wearing a lot of black, which I love black, and I'm wearing black, black is beautiful, and it can be very slimming if done right, if it fits you well. All black is beautiful. All winter white is beautiful. So when all color, it's very classy, very chic, very fresh. And versus sometimes trying to break up your outfits, you know, I need some color. So you're going to put on some yellow on top and then some green on bottom. And I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you don't always have to break things up. It's okay to wear all one color. But color for sure is, it can make you look more interesting and more vibrant. So the best example that I can give you, or suggestion as far as color, is if you and when were you someone has commented on how good you look in blue. So make a note of that and wear more blue, the right blue for you. Like for example, cobalt blue is a blue that I think it's safe to say that it looks good in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Cobalt blue, just that really beautiful, vibrant blue, or a grass green, or sometimes a hot pink. So I love color, but I also love a classy, all monochromatic, one look, one color, all black. It's all about the fit. Always. It's always about the fit.
Okay. And when you are selecting an outfit, or if someone's saying, I have this special event that's coming up, would you help me, get what I need for that particular event? Do you also take a look at, the hairstyle, the makeup, and introduce maybe some new ideas that someone hasn't thought of that would really be complementary?
Good question. Yes. Often when I help someone for a gala, they are existing clients. We've worked together, before. And so I already kind of know I already know their style, and it's easier to find that. But if not, if you just need to hire me for a couple of hours or whatever to find your style, yes, we can do that. As far as hair and makeup, I do have recommendations for those. I am not a hairstylist. I just know if you're doing it well or not. But I'm not a stylist, and I am certainly not a makeup artist. In fact, walking to makeup stores, that overwhelms me. I'm like, I have no idea. So now I know how people feel about clothing. So I just turn around and I leave. I stay in my lane. But yes, I have people that I work with on a daily basis that I refer to. So I have alterations, hair, makeup, and obviously I do the styling. But yes, it's not just a ball gown that's important. Your hair, your makeup, your teeth, it's all encompassing. Remember, it is representing who you are. So whole package matters.
So when we talk about that fairy godmother, that is you with the wand that just does everything.
Yes, I think so. Yes. If you go on my Instagram or on my Facebook, you can see a lot of befores and afters. And obviously I post as many as I can. Some I can't post. But yes, it's amazing what happens to people when they feel so good about themselves. It's almost like a switch that happens internally and outwardly, and they come out and they go about life just so much more confident and happy. And then they do more, they do better, they stand up and stand out in a more positive light. And isn't that what it's all about? Isn't it all about feeling your best version every day? So anyway, I could talk about this.
And that's actually one of the other things that I wanted to talk about, because as people are making career changes, sometimes they're still in the position they're coming from, rather than dressing and preparing with confidence for the position that they're going to. And I think that's something that you don't necessarily think about until you're there, and you kind of look at if you're at a meeting with others and you're kind of like, oh, I think I need to do something, or I think I need to, figure out what I need to do so that I feel like I'm on a par with my peers. So in that type of setting, when would someone connect with you? Before they've made that change, or I'm going to be doing this, let's, take a look at my closet and let's kind of work together going forward?
I think you should make that change. I don't like to call it a change. I like to call it to up level, because you who you are. This is not about changing or cutting, changing anything that's not already there. You are beautiful the way you are today. That's the number one thing about style. If you want to evolve your style, you have to start with a yes. Yes, I accept the way my bottom looks today. Yes, I accept the way my arms look today, jiggly or not. Yes, I accept my hips. Yes, I accept my skin. And then you build upon that. Okay. absolutely, if you're looking for a job or a career change, you want to look current.
Mm-hmm.
Because your image can say a lot of negative things if it's not up to par. So it could say, if you're getting a job and you don't look current, it could say that you're lazy. It could say that you don't care. I mean, people will make assumptions within seconds of meeting you subconsciously, and we all do this.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of who we are, we all make assumptions. And the problem is often those assumptions are wrong. And it's such a shame for others, to be making an assumption of us the first time they meet. So you want to make sure that that first hello is a positive one. You want to make sure your first yes, that it's a positive one. So you absolutely, especially if you're trying to up level, go to a different industry, kind of take a look and see what's expected. Read about it. There are tons of articles out there, Forbes, Health, on Vogue, on GQ, on Harvard Review. There are tons of articles talking about the importance of the effect of style and image in the workforce and in the workplace, and how it will affect you or not professionally and your bottom line.
Right. And when we talk about being on social media, people make a decision about what your message is within a few seconds. And I think the same is true. I'm not sure it's the same couple of seconds, but I think there's also a similar decision that's made, or first impression someone is making when they first meet you.
Well, Karen, interesting you say that, because I don't know about you, but if I want to find out about you, I am certainly going to Google you. I'm going to see what you look like, what you do, who you are. I'm going to read about you. And it's the same thing. So much today is all done electronically, if not first. And then secondly, we meet face to face. And I'm going to decide, oh gosh, she looks interesting. No, she doesn't. Or he looks like this, or he looks sharp. Oh, I wonder, that's going to translate to innovative, or not, intelligent or not. Or, it's amazing. These, the snap decisions, judgments that people make. And the other thing I have to say about that is, when you post your picture online, make sure that is a current professional headshot taken of you, not at your sister's wedding and you cut off everybody else and then there's your picture because you looked so good that day. Not when you were out of high school because you looked so young. I have so many people telling me, like, especially if they're dating, it's like, oh, they looked nothing like the picture that I saw online. Like, they just want to hook you. And then when they meet you, it's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Or you can actually go the other way, which is too done up.
Oh.
So I have some really good friends that are fantastic photographers here locally, and they do the portrait type of photography. So, these women look stunning, but they don't look like this every day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still lying. Yes, you look like $1 million in your picture, but day to day, you don't have someone doing your hair. You don't have someone doing your makeup. You certainly aren't wearing a gorgeous dress every day. So make sure it's a middle ground. Make sure it's you, a better version of a typical you, but not too done up and not a professional headshot.
We don't want the gala picture.
No.
Okay.
So that's my humble opinion on that.
Okay. So I'm going to ask, when someone comes to you and you go through their closet and you select a couple outfits and they're feeling just awesome, do they then go to their spouse, or are there other kind of like cascading effects of your expertise on them?
Yes, there are. I will never forget this. There was this lady, and she sent. We were shopping all day, so we actually probably did most of her almost entire closet, like a one in one setting, which it can be pretty tiring. But anyway, we did it. She was feeling great. She said, I'm going to go home. I cannot wait to do a fashion show for my husband. So I said goodbye. She said goodbye. She went on her way. I went on my way, and I kind of forgot about the whole thing. And the next day in the morning, she texts me and she said, oh my gosh, Eugenia, first of all, I did a fashion show for my husband. And let me just tell you this, it went so well that we had an amazing night. And she went, and I'm like, yes, that was so great, because isn't that what it's about? It's about just awake yourself, awake your relationship, awake your professional life, your personal life. Yes, there was another gentleman who told me, and this was fantastic. He was actually trick-or-treating with his child, and knocks on a door of, in fact, it was his boss's wife, which couldn't have been better. And she said, Dave, I have to say to you, lately, you look so intelligent, so smart, so on top of it, so professional. And he said, I am in my mid 40s, and I have yet to hear anything being described like that about my looks, about myself. And he was saying that with tears in his eyes. And this is a guy. This is and which it doesn't matter, but yes, it's a very apparent change, and it's an investment that everyone should make, and it can pay you 10 times. It's the gift that keeps on giving. How's that? It never stops.
That's good. So if people want to connect with you, and I know looking at your website with all of the before and after pictures, and on Facebook with before and after pictures, people want to put their face in those pictures because you've just done wonderful transformation. So how do people get in touch with you? And is there a way to kind of get the process started if they'd like to work with you?
Yes, you can email me at Eugenia Wardrobe Stylist, and we can connect that way, or you can message me on Facebook, or any of my social handles. You can message me, and we can go from there. And yeah,
so
easy to find.
There are a lot of different people that you've worked with and different styles before and afters. And that was one of the things. It's not like you work with, a particular type of person. And that is the one thing that at the Salt Lake Women's Show, you had a number of before and afters. And when the gals walked on stage in their new outfits, it was just, you could see that there was definitely more confidence, as they were walking on stage.
Yeah, in fact, I got a message from one of them today and she said, oh my goodness, I wish you were at my event today. I got so many compliments on my look. And she was one of the ladies that was a transformation. But yes, I have a client who's on a wheelchair. In fact, that's an amazing story. The first time we started working together, Allie, she is in her early 30s, and the first time we found her pants that fit her and styles, because she thought she had to dress for a woman in a wheelchair, and she was so surprised when she didn't. And the first time we put on pants on her, she just started crying. She's like, oh my gosh, I feel so beautiful. But yes, it's not just one particular race, age, body type. No, I have been doing this for 13 years, and I worked with all kinds of personalities, body types, budgets. I mean, you name it. So.
And it shows, because you have a way of, when you're working with someone, you take their best features. And that's what you're emphasizing. And I think that's the key that makes you so successful, because each one of those women that walked on stage, at that last event that we were at, they were all different, different ages, different body styles. And it was like each one of them had their own best feature that was, coming forward when they came on stage.
But see, Karen, you are already like that. You already have those amazing features. They are just, most of the time, they're just hiding. And the world can't see how truly beautiful you are and your potential. They're hiding. And so it's just a matter of, not just, I make it sound easier than sometimes it is, but it's grabbing the right items for you to clothe your beautiful body with. And yes, it makes all the difference, because we all have to get dressed every day, right? We all have to put clothing on our bodies. So why not make sure we're putting on the right clothing with the right message? But most importantly, it's about you, how you feel, how it makes you feel, and then others.
Well, thank you so much for those words of wisdom. That has really lifted a lot of people. And as you say, they are up-leveled, because I think everyone wants to be up-leveled and presented in their best light.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, Karen.
Thank you so much, Eugenia. And I am going to put your email address below so that people can get in touch with you. And I'm going to put your website there as well. And they can take a look at Facebook if they'd like to, or Instagram. But I'm going to put the social media information. And thank you so much for joining us on Break Free and Thrive.
You know what? I have a special gift for everyone that wants to work with me. Why don't you throw on there 25% off? Just let them know that I was on your podcast, and that's how, or they can let me know, and we'll make sure to take care of it. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.